probably sit down while you go out, baby. He's like, I got this.
Oh, watch this.
Good. Wow, Lincoln. He's like, you can help me now.
Okay. It only goes down the first step.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Let's go play, okay? You wanna play?
There you go.
Bye. Okay.
Good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning, guys.
We are hanging out in what will be eventually the kitchen of our new home. We
One
felt
day.
that this is representative of how our life feels right now, just sort of under construction.
Yeah, lots of potential, but currently just a mess.
A shell of what could be.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be beautiful. There's just so much potential,
Yeah.
but it has not come together yet. It's frustrating. So you guys know, like, I feel like we are in a season of waiting right now, and I think a lot of people are in this season. Every time I get on social media, I'm seeing these posts about slow seasons of waiting, how to not be discouraged, how there's purpose in waiting, and
don't waste your waiting.
Yeah,
like,
don't.
Your waiting is a gift. Like, it's.
I know, and I'm like,
it doesn't feel like a gift.
I feel like God's trying to say something to us right now. But this has just been a challenging season for our family. And I know you guys, if you've been following along with our journey, there's just been a lot that's been going on, and a lot that's supposed to be going on that's not been going on, particularly with the construction of our house. And we've never built a house before, but we had heard, that it's challenging and that it always goes slower than you expect and all of that. So I feel like we had kind of prepared ourselves, like, okay, this is going to be, a challenge. But it's still really frustrating, and there's a lot of things that you just don't anticipate, and it's not really until you get into it and you're living it month after month that you kind of start to feel kind of the weight of it all. And
I told Amanda the other day, I was like, I know that I'm like the forever optimist, but I feel like that part of me has died.
No, you're still a really optimistic person.
I am, but like, as it relates to this house, I'm like, this is supposed to be happening today. But we'll see.
It's been, the past couple of months have been
every day
very
has been
slow, very, very slow. And there's just, so for us guys, it's like we feel like, we're trying to work hard, we're trying to do everything we can to make sure things are moving along. And for whatever reason, a lot of different reasons that have all just kind of come together to just make this a very slow, difficult process. And
you've probably noticed it too, because like usually for years, a little over 3 years now, I guess, we have consistently posted 3 times a week, like consistently, hardly ever miss it. And then in December and January, and now even in February, we've missed so many vlogs, and a lot of that is because we look at our life, we're like, there's literally nothing going on. Like, we could be like, here we are sitting in the RV again, here we are,
it's just been slow. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about, guys, is just kind of like what we are learning and experiencing and kind of, growing in this season, because it has been very different for us. And Steven and I are used to like going hard after things and working hard and being consistent, and
like,
there's a
to a fault. Like, I'm like a classic workaholic. Like, I love to work.
I would say recovering workaholic.
Okay, recovering.
He works hard to not be a workaholic.
Like, I would work 100 hours a week if, like...
Yeah, and we're like, no, it's
Dad, we exist. Don't forget, So, like, I'm recovering from that. But for probably, almost 20 years, that was my life, was work.
Yeah.
And so now I'm still working hard, but I love that we get to work together, to do all this. And so that feels a little less like work and a little more like play.
But this season has been one that has just been obviously a time of slowing down, both, you know, just like with work and stuff, but also with our family and just all around. I feel like it's supposed to be a season of slowing down and of resting and of not necessarily like achieving all these goals. And so that's been an adjustment for us, trying to figure out like, so what's the purpose of this season then? And I think a lot of you guys are probably in a similar season where it's kind of frustrating because you have things that you want to do and you want to achieve, and it's like just not coming together right now. And so that's just been really kind of on our minds and on our hearts lately. It's just talking through like, what are we supposed to be learning right now, and what is God wanting to do with this season? Because he could make it go and he could be opening all these doors, and for whatever reason they're not happening right now. And so and I don't feel like he's saying no, like he's given us this property and it's obviously like it's gonna happen, but it's just slow. And it's like he is telling us like, I'm having you wait for a season, and can we trust him in that? And like what are we going to learn in the meantime? What is he going to be doing in our lives in the meantime?
And I will say that in the midst of all that, it's opened up margin in our lives that we don't typically have. We're not really used to having for each other, you know? Like that would be probably the unexpected but very welcomed byproduct of all this, is that I feel like you and I are probably closer than we've ever been. And,
I think it's really healthy to be able to
you
slow
like took
down.
a pause. You're like, let me think about that for a second.
Like, no, I think that it's really, really healthy to be able to slow down and rest and do that consistently, because, you know, we would be like really busy and then we'd be like, oh, we've got an off day this month where we're not doing anything. But to have that consistently, like a couple of days a week where it's like there's not a whole lot going on and we can just kind of breathe and talk and connect and it's been really good for us, really good for our children, not so good for the consistency of our channel, because we are really kind of posting 2 a week rather than 3 a week, but
and that's been one of the questions, is like, should we even like keep vlogging? Like, should we you know? And like, we love this, like we loved getting to do what we do, but we just had a lot of questions, like
because
you know,
when we first
how
started
should we
vlogging,
change this, you know, how can we do this in a way that is more sustainable, more consistent,
and just kind of in line with what our life looks like now. Because when we first started vlogging, Lincoln was going through his brain surgeries, and our kids were a lot younger, and like there's so much that's changed over these past few years.
Even just last year, Jude's voice was like, "Hey guys," and now he's like, "Hey guys," you know. And Liam's voice is starting to drop.
We've got 5 teenagers.
5 teenagers, guys.
It's so different than it was a few years ago.
And 3 of them have their own channels, you know, and like if the others wanted to start their own channels, they probably could anytime, you know, like 15, once they're 15, like.
So our kids are, a lot of our kids are a lot, whoa, the light just like changed a ton.
We have a cloud.
There's like one singular cloud in the sky right now. It's
we're okay with that.
Such a beautiful day. But yeah, like a lot of our kids are so much more independent than they used to be. So we've got like, you know, a couple of littles at home, and the rest of the kids are kind of doing their own thing a lot. And so that's been an ongoing conversation for us. It's like, how do we kind of honor this different stage that our family's in, and still be able to connect with you guys, still be able to enjoy doing this thing that has really been such a blessing for our family, and we've really loved. But I do feel like it's time to kind of shift it a little bit, and so that's been a big conversation for us. Like, not just in the extremes of like, should we just stop vlogging or should we keep vlogging, but like, if we do continue, like, what are some areas that we can change that would be better for our family, maybe more interesting for you guys, so we're not just doing the same thing over and over again. Like
we've talked about, and we even talked with our management yesterday, we're like, what if we do a podcast? Like, our managers brought it up. They had watched our podcast that we did with our friends Sean and Andrew, the East family, and they were like, you guys are awesome at the podcasting thing. Why don't you do a podcast? We're like, there's no way we can do a podcast. We do 3 videos a week. Well, what if we did 2 videos a week and a podcast? Or what if we did like a cooking video, you know, a week?
That's been something that we've actually really started loving doing in the RV. We designed,
this kitchen is designed, really, will be.
Will one day be.
In 10 years. For being able to cook things really cool, you know, and like it's gonna be beautiful and open and bright and
and we're gonna have like a
perfect
big
for cooking videos.
Yeah, a big like grill, not grill, but like the big stovetop thing
Yeah.
that's gonna be on
In
the
the
island,
island, like-
facing out.
We did that intentionally for video stuff. So we're like, man, maybe we can kind of like spice it up a little bit. And we're not saying we're not going to do family vlogging. Like, we love to family vlog. We love our family. It's a huge part of who we are, and it's a huge part of why we know that you're here as well.
Yeah.
But there might be other things that maybe we family vlog twice a week. We do a podcast once a week. We do a cooking video
Yeah.
or something like that. We're just thinking through.
Just making some changes, and we'd love to kind of hear from you guys as well.
Yeah.
Like, what are the things that you really love about this channel? What are the ways that you're really connecting with us, or things that you would like to see in the future? Because this is a time, I think, that we are just kind of planning and shifting a little bit, and just embracing kind of those growing pains. And I think that's just a normal part of life for everyone, whether you're vlogging or not vlogging. Like, this is, our family is kind of changing, and so we want to be able to honor that, and honor our kids as well, because being a teenager is not the easiest thing. I'm sure most of you guys have been teenagers, right? And so that's just something that we want to make sure that we're really kind of honoring that journey for them. And part of being a teenager is you're finding yourself, and you probably want a little bit more privacy, and that. So like we want to make sure that our kids have the freedom to kind of be able to do that as needed, and they're still really excited about vlogging, from time to time, but it just looks a little different, and so we want to make sure that that's something that we're doing really well. We're stewarding well with our kids and our whole family. So
For sure.
so just a lot of changes and a lot of areas that we're growing and learning and shifting and trying to embrace that this is like a good thing. It's a good thing to slow down. It's a good thing to reevaluate, even if it does mean like things are going slowly and our house is still a construction zone and we can't quite, see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but I know it's going to come. And so I know a lot of you guys probably are in that similar season where it's like tempting to get really discouraged because you feel like you should be further along, or there are things that you thought would happen that haven't happened yet. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that it's a no, that it's not going to happen. It just means that for this season right now, there's a purpose in going slower, and there's a purpose in evaluating and growing through all of that. So I think that we just wanted to kind of sit down and talk to you guys, because it's just kind of felt like this mounting, not pressure, but just, it's just been different. It's been a change, and we wanted to kind of like talk through that with you guys, because we are changing, we are growing, and our channel is kind of changing a little bit. And so I think this is just like a really long talking session. So
but like, just to be honest, sorry guys, this is just gonna be a private moment for a second, but like, I'm so attracted to you right now, because like, you're just like giving so much wisdom, and I'm just like, oh, that's so good for me to hear. Like,
oh my gosh,
don't waste your waiting season, like I just I love that. So also I think she's gonna be writing a book, which is pretty cool.
Say that right now, can you?
Sure.
It's not even officially a thing.
It's not official, but I'm just speaking it into the world. She started working through some stuff, and it's beyond amazing. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited for you guys to see whenever we finally get it done.
Well, and also I think we're probably going to be writing one together.
And we're writing one together.
Family.
So that's another piece of this whole thing too. Is my book comes out. You can pre-order it right now. It's called The Art of Getting It Wrong. A lot of you guys have already. Thank you so much. That's just makes us feel unbelievable. Like our publisher was like blown away at the response that you guys have given, and
you guys are amazing.
So you are, and so we'll actually drop a link so you can pre-order The Art of Getting It Wrong. It's basically talking about how you're not your mistakes, you're not your failures. Your failure doesn't define you, but it can refine you. Your failure isn't final, and hopefully just giving us a little more courage in the world to be able to move forward and live the life that we were made to live. And so that's kind of the idea of that. And Amanda's book that she's writing is
we don't know.
I'm just telling you, it's gonna be even better than mine. Not to say you shouldn't buy mine. You should buy mine, and then that would be a little introduction to Amanda's book too. But
there's a lot of things that we're dreaming through, and just kind of like in those early stages. And so it is really exciting, but But also, yeah, it can be a little scary because change can be scary,
Yeah.
you know? And when
Yeah.
you're used to something and something has felt really good for a while, and then it's like, oh, I feel like it's time to kind of change this up. Like, it's bittersweet. It's really bittersweet. And so
it's hard for us to be like, well, what happens if we go from like 3 to 2 and like our people are like, man, I miss the way it used to be or whatever, you know?
But I do feel like people resonate most with authenticity, and if people are kind of honoring like where they are in life and what their season is supposed to be, like we have to be that. We have to stay true to who we are and the season that we're in, and so when that changes, you kind of just have to go with it. And so that's what we're telling you guys. It's like there's going to be some changes.
Yeah, and we don't really know what that looks like, because it may be that, you know, we have months where a lot's going on and we do 4 videos a week or whatever, you know, but we are saying that there will be changes coming, and it's just going to look a little different. And so
I think another aspect to this is that, like, in the winter time, like, everything feels slow and like everything's dead, and it's just
you
kind
get like
of
an hour of daylight a day.
Yeah, an hour. I mean, it does. It gets dark early, and I do.
The kids
feel
get
like
home from school, and it's getting dark already.
Yeah.
You know, at 4:45, it was getting dark, and they got off the bus at 4:12.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just it kind of is a reflection of the season that we're in, and to be honest, like there can be like some seasonal depression that goes with that, because everything does feel cold and dark and kind of heavy, you know, and so it's just been a challenge at certain times, and so that's something I've kind of been working through as well, and just like trying to get healthy, because I feel like there's been a lot of health challenges for me, and so I do feel like I'm actually feeling a lot better, like kind of cleansing and detoxing and kind of getting off of sugar. I think I was like totally addicted to sugar. That has really, really helped me to feel healthier and have more clarity and more energy, and so I'm kind of on that journey as well. That's an ongoing journey, but I do feel like I'm making some good progress there. But I just want to be real with you guys, because I think everybody goes through those challenging seasons, and this has been a challenging one for us, beyond just like living in an RV with a bunch of people, which has its ups and downs, like, because that's also been really fun for us, but it's also obviously very challenging. But just waiting can be really frustrating, can be really discouraging, and I'm like, you know, I was really wanting to be able to be moving into this house this spring, and we were talking about wanting to maybe have another baby this fall, and like it's just, everything's just slowing down for now, and that's okay. It's okay. We can embrace that and know that the things that are meant to be for the future will happen in the right timing, and just being able to kind of let go of our plans and just embrace where we are right now is that's really where we are. So that's like what we're totally embracing, just that this looks different than we had originally planned. So we'd love to hear from you guys. What would you guys like to see moving forward? And I'm excited. I think change can be really exciting as well. You know, but it's bittersweet, and you kind of have to like grieve, like letting go of some of those things that you really loved, but they're they're not to be moved forward with us. So that's okay. It's okay
for sure.
But
anyway, that's pretty much the video today, guys. We love you, and you know, we just love that we've had this amazing honor and privilege and joy of being able to be a family with you guys, you know, and we hope, we pray that we get to do this for like years and years and years to come, you know, and that's one of the big things, you know. That's why we don't clickbait. That's why we don't do drama. That's why we don't do exploitation. That's why we don't. It's because, like, man, the cost is too high for that. Like, we want to be here for you guys and with you guys, and we want you to trust us, you know. And so, you know, even this.
It's easy to like. It's sorry. I'm just totally.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's easy to like create drama and like get those views and stuff, but what we're really here for is like to actually connect with you guys and to share our journey and do it in a way that's real and a way that's honest. And so
like even the title of this video, like we've gone back and forth as we've talked about making it. It's like, is is that like honest? Is that like, you know, is it something that people are going to look at that and go, that's clickbait, you know, or whatever? Like, we just really want to make sure that what we're doing is honoring you guys, and honoring the truth, and honoring what's real, and honoring, you know, our family in that process. So, you know, this is just a real open conversation with you guys that we hope that you'll see that and you know that we're so grateful for you.
We really are, guys. And so my parents are actually in town this weekend, and I'm really excited. There's some things behind the scenes I can't really share right now, but I am really excited to have them here, and we're gonna go out with them tonight. And they were here actually last night. They came in, and I actually took a little bit of B-roll, so I will put this in at the end to show you guys. But we just made some potato soup, and
it was so
sat
good,
around
guys.
the fire pit. It was
She's
really
becoming like the most amazing cook, and I fall more in love with her every time.
It's hilarious. I'm literally just making instant pot meals, but they're turning out to be awesome. So.
I heard for a long time that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I didn't believe it. And then
because I wasn't like the greatest cook early on.
And then she started
marriage.
cooking, and I'm like, oh, I see. I get it.
I've always felt that way because he's always been great at like cooking us brunch and just being awesome at helping, like just loving us really well and taking care of us. So yeah, guys.
You have to, because you're amazing. You're an amazing mom and an amazing wife. Isn't she, guys? Put it in the comments.
Oh my gosh. All right, so all that to say,
we're starting.
We're gonna close this out
Get
for
some
like the
rabbit
third
trail
time.
action.
Yeah. So all that to say, guys, we love you.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you, kind of your thoughts on all of this. When did you guys start watching us? Have you been here from the beginning when our kids were little and Lincoln was having his brain surgeries and all of that, or was it somewhere along the way? I know a lot of you guys kind of joined along with that first morning routine that I did. That was the thing that kind of launched us, and a lot of you guys found us that way. But it's been just such a privilege to be able to connect with you guys, and just these past few years, it's just been mind-blowing to see the ways that God has like worked in our lives, and just kind of like this has just been so cool. I could not have dreamed this up for ourselves, and so I'm really, really grateful, just so grateful. I was sitting outside drinking my coffee this morning and just soaking in the sun, and I was just like I'm so incredibly grateful for all that the Lord's been doing in our lives these past few years. And even though it kind of feels like we're in this waiting season, like I'm just so grateful because I can see the way that He has led our family, and the way that He's been providing, and the way that He's been helping us kind of chase after some of those dreams and goals and do it alongside with you guys. And so it's just been such a privilege, and we really don't take that for granted ever. Like, we are just so grateful. So whatever this next kind of phase looks like for us, we just want you to know, like, we're grateful that you're here, grateful that we can share this journey with you guys, and someday this house will be complete, and we'll be saying this kind of stuff to you guys from a finished kitchen, and that will be
in 2042, guys. I'll just get ready for it.
We always, in the past few months, we've been saying like we're supposed to have some great progress next week or whatever, and I'm hesitant to say that, even though there are some things that are supposed to happen, it will happen at some point. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But hopefully we'll be able to share some progress with you guys soon.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys are asking like, what's the update on the house?
Nothing.
We should be able to share.
Not
that.
an update.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Next week we should be able to share some.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, guys.
Anyway.
We love you so much.
We love you guys.
We will see you guys next time. Bye.
For your name's sake, you will lead me back home to you. God, for your name's sake, you will lead me back home to you.